Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. Today I'm going to be commentating a best of 3 series for you between TT1 and Idra. We can see right here TT1 as the green Protoss player in the bottom left, and in the upper right we do have EG's Idra as the blue Zerg. So Protoss versus Zerg, this is going to be a best of 3 series between TT1 and Idra. Going to be starting out this first game here on Xel'Naga Caverns, and this is going to be pretty exciting. It is Friday today. Diablecast has been posted. We're going to have a Zerg strategy video for you today as well, and I think that there was actually one more team replay that got recorded that just wasn't uploaded, and that should be getting taken care of today as well. I'm almost certain that that's going to happen, but yes, happy Friday. I hope everyone's doing well today. Really looking forward to this matchup. Should be quite exciting. We did see actually some commentary of Idra games earlier in the week, so just taking a look at this series with Idra, we'll see how it ends up playing out. I know Idra is kind of a favorite, certainly among Zerg players, but just in general, he's one of the more notable players from North America, and definitely one of the most talked about, not only for his playstyle, but just also for his in-game shenanigans and the way he conducts himself with other players. That's how I'll say it as nicely as possible. The way he conducts himself and his mannerisms. There we go. So we can see right now TT1 going to be going down with that, of course, a gateway and Cybernex core wall off at the front of his base. Obviously very necessary against Speedlings, and we can also see Idra starting things out here with one base play. He does have that spawning pool down, still no gas, and there it is finally. Gas going to be coming down, so just going to be starting off with this one base play. Nice and safe Zerg opening. I've actually been seeing Idra do a lot of this, except for with the exception of maybe very large maps. But any map with any relatively sort of close distance, or even the possibility of close spawn positions, even without the certainty of a closeness, even just having that possibility, we are seeing a lot of Idra play starting off with the one base, just playing a little safe, making sure that he doesn't have to deal with kind of cheesy Protoss harass, cannon rushes, pylon block-offs at the expo, all sorts of stuff that could actually take place. We can see TT1 trying to be a little bit of a nuisance here, working down and whittling at the HP of this one drone. This one drone's just been getting relentlessly attacked here by the probe of TT1, and he's not letting up at all. He's going to go for the kill, actually. He's going to force Idra to respond, force Idra to do something about it, just maneuvering all over the place. What a huge nuisance right now, and he is, again, non-stop TT1, just trying to be as much of a pain in the butt as possible. Back inside of his base, we can see right now Cybernex core coming on through. He does have a second gas working through as well. We can see over here for Idra, first 2 Zerglings have popped, second 2 Zerglings coming on through, and there is the expo. And that's pretty much all I expect, unless we see some aggression from TT1. I pretty much expect Idra to just be sticking with these 4 Zerglings for quite some time. Back over here, we can see 1 Queen has popped, second Queen coming on through. Once this gets a little bit closer to finish, probably going to see, maybe just with the second Queen, going to see that creep tumor go down so that he can start to connect those 2 bases. Zerglings running around all over the place. We have 1 Zergling in hot pursuit. Idra, so fed up with the harassment that he dealt with early game, is actually going to be trying to take out this probe of TT1 just to kind of get back at him for what he had to endure at the very initial start here. We can see TT1 does have 2 gateways coming through, so maybe looking to see a 3-gate expand. That seems like the most probable thing that we would be seeing from him right now. Very popular, a very effective Protoss tactic. You can see, of course, very sentry heavy is what he's going to be coming out with, and that is pretty much per the usual. That's pretty standard play there. Back over here, Idra, second Queen popped, dropping down that creep tumor as expected, and then heading on over to the expansion. Zergling still in hot pursuit of this probe. Good thing I wasn't paying attention to that the entire time, because this is all we would have seen. The probe managing to maneuver his way around without actually losing to it. Now, Sentry and Zell's going to be moving out. Oh, I was a little bit concerned that they were going to get some Zerglings in the main base of TT1, but TT1 fully prepared for that, dropping down the pylon. So here it goes. Expected expansion's going to be coming up right now for TT1. He's going to keep up the sentry production as well. I'm going to probably look to see between 4 and 6 sentries. That's going to be the most likely thing. Idra doing the proper thing, scouting right outside of the opponent's base to look if any push is coming, and up until that point, he is just going to be droning up. This is something that I talk to, my Zerg students about, and any player who asks me about Zerg and scouting in early game. Use those overlords, but keeping Zerglings near the front of your opponent's base is pretty crucial. It's going to tell you if you're safe to drone up hard, or if you need to come out with some units. And actually, it looks like Idra not playing for the macro game right now, which is what he's pretty much known for. He is going to be getting some roaches early on. He is going to be doing some aggression right now. This is not what he would typically be doing if he were going for macro play. You can see 6 Zerglings, 6 roaches coming out as well. So Idra going to be pushing very hard in the very near future. And one primary thing to the spotting is just also to deny scouting. He doesn't want any scouting units of TT1 to push out of the base because he does not want TT1 to see what is going on. Taking a look at TT1 vision, you can see the last time he looked was just when Idra was coming up with that expo. So he, of course, has no idea about this Roach Warren. He doesn't know about this strong push coming out as well. And actually, Idra first going to be using these guys to take down these rocks. This way, if this push doesn't work the way he likes, he will have the option of moving to the high yield at some point with those weakened rocks if he doesn't actually go and destroy it fully. But it looks like he does plan on destroying it fully. You can see that shift Q, but no, actually just going to be pushing right now. We do have some aggression moving out right now for TT1. If nothing else, just checking the center of the map. Still really hasn't seen this push, but here we go. A few roaches going to be moving down now with very sentry heavy. Idra does need to be careful. It's going to be hard with all these force fields for him to actually push in and be too aggressive. It's going to come down to positioning. There's a couple force fields going down. A couple Zerglings managed to eke their way on in. Going to be able to do a little bit of damage to the sentries. One sentry has been dropped already. Going to try to take out another sentry. Roche is just a little bit out of range. We have 12 more Zerglings coming out here as well for Idra. Idra wrapping around the backside, getting around the sentries. Force field's a little bit late. He's going to be losing those sentries. Only 2 sentries left. Roach is going to be trying to target fire down the one of them. First getting the stalker, second sentry down for TT1, and Idra doing tremendous amounts of damage right now. 16 more Zerglings en route here as well. TT1 doing what he can, trying to come up with some additional Zealots, but not actually getting that wall off. The Zealots will get surrounded there by the Zerglings. Gonna try to use this one Zealot to block off the ramp, but again, we do have these roaches, but no, the Zealot pushes down, and there is the GG from TT1. TT1 opened up this game by going for the safe 3-gate expand, while Idra decided to start off with safe 1-base opening into an expansion. With his 3 gateways up and running and sitting pretty sentry heavy, TT1 moved out first expansion, and he had Idra camped outside the front of his base with some scouting Zerglings, allowing Idra to see if any scouting units or any sort of opposition was coming towards his base. Meanwhile, Idra had some very early game aggression planned, pumping out a ton of roaches and Zerglings, and he streamed them right across the map. This aggression certainly was unexpected on TT1's half. He was not expecting Idra to push out, and this actually isn't something that you typically see Idra do, as he is known as a macro player. But as we're going to see here, Idra, in cutting all of his drone production and then pumping out tons of Zerglings as well as those roaches, was able to push very hard up against TT1's quick expand build. And just because of the mass number of units, Idra was able to overpower what TT1 had, and that is what forced the GG. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you do, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.